and welcome to another episode of ScreenBugs.
Woo!
This week, we are going to be covering the 2026 film Spider-Man. Which one's this?
Brand New Day.
Brand New Day. I was going to say No Way Home, like we just don't like that.
No Way Home.
No, Brand New Day, directed by not John Watts, someone else.
Not John Watts.
This time, we were just looking at this.
We know exactly who. We're just taking a moment for suspense.
Destin Daniel Cretton.
Destin Daniel Cretton.
Cretton. Daniel Cretton. Poor guy. Secondary school must have been rough for him.
My name's Justin.
And I'm Kai. And we are ScreenBugs. We review films, any age, any day, but we have one rule. What's our rule, Justin?
Every rule.
We are struggling today. We've not been drinking. I promise we've not been drinking.
Stone cold. I've just had leg day at the gym. That's why that's my excuse. We only review films that have or contain or feature or relate to bugs.
This might be our worst intro yet.
And I'm feeling good about it. And of course, Spider-Man is...
He is a bug. There is regular bugs in this film, but he is also a bug, so this is our big loophole.
There's quite a big spider, actually, at one point in a little corner of a doorway.
Big spoilers for this film. If you've not seen the film, we are going to be spoiling the hell out of this movie. And this movie came out, time of recording, 2 days ago. So if you've not seen it, go watch it and come back.
If you don't hear about Andrew Garfield's cameo, then go now.
Yeah, but seriously, if you don't want spoilers, don't watch this, because I think we'll be spoiling the whole thing. And obviously it's a Marvel film, so people are very serious about their spoilers. So you've been warned. Should we just spoil it really big off the bat and so people know? It's Jean Grey. Jean Grey's the villain from X-Men. That's the villain. That's our big spoiler. We did warn you, so don't be too upset.
So I want to know, how much did you know about Spider-Man comics and Jean Grey? Because I know you're more of a DC person.
I've seen all the Spider-Man films.
Yeah.
Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire. I love the Sam Raimi ones. Yeah. I liked Spider-Man a lot when I was little. I've always liked Spider-Man, a lot of the animated series.
Spider-Man's one of the goats.
He is, he is undeniably one of the superhero goats. I just didn't have any of the comics. Yeah. So I'm not as familiar with the comics, but I'm familiar with like the films and the TV shows and all that kind of stuff. So I'm a little bit familiar. Jean Grey, I know Jean Grey is. I like X-Men. My sister's really into X-Men.
Jean Grey's in X-Men?
Yeah, she's Phoenix.
Right. I see.
And then she turned... Oh, the train's back as well, because we're back outside.
This one's angry. Just sit with that.
Oh my God, that's really...
It's like proper screech noise.
It's like a train robbery going on.
Whoever's on that fucking train hated this film.
Hopefully that doesn't happen again.
I hadn't heard of Jean Grey until like a week or two before the film came out, and I heard people saying, is Sadie Sink playing Jean Grey? And she was like, no, I'm not playing Jean Grey.
This is the thing, because obviously they were like in the trailers and people were like, oh, there's this like telepath kind of like person with powers, and then the cast got revealed and it's like this ginger woman. It's like, okay, we know who you're going to be, realistically.
So Jean Grey meant nothing to me. So even going into it, I didn't know who Jean Grey was. I just knew that name people were suspecting.
Did that affect how you felt about the film then, not knowing who this character was? Did it change how you felt about it?
I think it probably made it more fun for me. Okay. Because when all the sort of psychic mind jumping stuff started happening, I had no expectation of what that's going to be like in the film, or who Jean Grey is, or who Sadie is. So for me, I'm just like, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm along for the ride. And I never got confused.
I really like that, because like obviously I saw a speculation that it was going to be Jean Grey online. The first act of the film does quite a good job of not being quite a mystery about the whole mind jumper, because obviously the film starts, we get that nice montage at the start, which actually I really liked going in, because they have like a 3-year time passage and a montage, don't they, at the start?
Yeah, is it 3 years?
Yeah, because it's from Ned and MJ getting into, I think, college or university or whatever, and then graduating. It's like a 3 years.
Yeah,
so obviously there's been a couple of years since the last Spider-Man film.
Yeah, because they're looking for jobs, aren't they, during the film? Yeah,
so they have like this actual like realistic kind of time skip where he's been Spider-Man for like 3 years. Yeah. And the city quite likes him, and he's fighting all these comic booky villains. But I liked they recreate a lot of like comic book covers in that bit, which is a nice bit of fan service to kind of kick us off.
There were some gorgeous shots, like what an opening to the film.
There was some great visual, especially when he's like swinging around and like on top of buildings and stuff.
And sort of classic Spider-Man villain cameos, even I can recognise some of them and stuff.
No, I like that. And just recreating comic book covers is always a nice little thing that I like when films do. But sadly, I knew that was going to happen because it was in the trailer. I don't watch trailers anymore for this reason.
I try to avoid trailers now when I can resist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get into this mind-hopping stuff quite quickly.
I loved this.
I really was interested in that.
I was really excited. Because again, I didn't have any idea who Jean Grey would be, but I was like one of those knobheads in the cinema who I was like audibly gasping, like, this is sick.
Well, I really like it. Who could that be? Like,
hold on a minute. She's jumping through their minds.
This isn't grounded in reality at all.
What kind of documentary is this? They're using CGI.
But no, I think it's quite cool how they did it with like just normal people like running around, and like that whole kind of like when they do like that very exaggerated like.
Yeah, it was actually, there was some gorgeous sequences with that, and it allowed for so many fantastic short performances from actors.
I think it gives a unique villain, and it makes Spider-Man, because obviously Jean Grey's whole thing is that she goes into people's mind, but she can't to Spider-Man because of his Spidey sense or whatever. So I like that they adapt, because I don't think that's a comic book storyline involving Spider-Man or one in general. So it's nice. If I'm wrong, please send me hate mail. I like that they adapted these two things to make it work for a film rather than just ripping a comic book entirely and just.
So Jean Grey isn't typically a Spider-Man.
I mean, for the most part, she's, except some arc, she's part of the X-Men who are good guys.
Yeah.
She turns a bit evil later on and then dies, I think. Yeah. I'm not an X-Men expert. Please do hate mail me, actually. But yeah. What do you, I just want to just pivot a little bit. What do you think of the Punisher in this film? Because he gets established very early on with this jumper.
I was worried about this because I've not seen any Punisher material whatsoever.
Neither have I.
But it surprised me in how well they managed to naturally incorporate it. Like, this is just another person in the city doing his thing.
Yeah, I feel like they do this quite well in this film, I think, a little bit. Because we talked about this in Supergirl quite a lot, where I like it when characters just appear. Yeah. Very comic booky. This feels like that with our Spider-Man's chasing this tank. And then our Punisher's also here and he's doing the same thing because that's kind of what he'd be up to.
And a Punisher fit in really well. He's this sort of like isolated, sort of darkened hero, and he sort of sees the innocence. They've got like a bit of a back and forth sort of like frenemy kind of relationship.
I think the Punisher and Spider-Man's relationship in this film is the best part of the film for me.
I could agree with that, actually.
Because they genuinely felt like an old married couple. Like they were just bickering constantly, and like they bounce off each other really well because there's this kind of like friendly kind of like aggression to both of them. Yeah. Where like Spider-Man's, oh no, we don't kill people. Frankenstein's like, oh fuck you, and he's like shooting grenades.
It's like, but then they'll be like
Staten
Island stuff.
Yeah, well, I really like their established relationship because obviously we've never actually seen them interact until this point. Yeah. But to have them kind of, they felt like they've been friends.
You can believe they've been friends for a while. You can believe
they've been interacting a while. So I think
I like as well when it gets to a point where they're talking about like isolation and not having family, and when Punisher's talking about how you know he didn't choose for that, and you see the pictures on his
family,
and even not knowing the story of Punisher, it's very obvious what it's trying to say. It doesn't feel like there was necessary watching that I hadn't done.
Yeah, because it felt like a very nice. The Punisher felt like a really nice foil to Spider-Man because they're both characters who've at this point lost everything. Yeah. Yet the Punisher is still this kind of like dark, he kills and he's very much, whereas Spider-Man tries to save everyone he can, and like there's a bit where he hurts a police officer and he's like absolutely mortified.
Yeah, he's horrified.
Whereas Punisher will see like a somewhat corrupt cop and like skin them alive or something. Yeah, it's like they're very different but very similar, and I think that works really nicely with the two of them. But I also really like that Punisher is very much comic relief in this film. Yeah. He's like this really like depressing dark character, but he's also quite funny, and I don't know if they mean it or not. I don't know.
He's comic, but the thing is, he works as a comic relief, but also having much more depth to his function too, which a lot of movies in this genre can have a thing of they bring in a character kind of for the fuck of it. Yeah, and I think that's almost what what's his name, Lobo.
Yeah, what Lobo is.
Lobo wasn't Supergirl.
No, they feel similar in terms of their kind of purpose.
And they gave Punisher had more purpose, I feel like.
Yeah, he was more involved than I thought he would be. Yeah, because in the trailers, you can see him in like, they only really showed the first like 15 minutes of the films in the trailer, but he was a lot more involved in the narrative than I thought. Like he gets like, he's at the start a little bit, and then we get a bit later on where Spider-Man's like, I need to hide MJ because the mind person can find her, and he goes, I know someone, and then we get more involvement from Punisher.
How did you feel about the pacing and incorporation of the MJ, well, I guess Ned as well, but the MJ sort of storyline.
It sounds really... I don't know if this was me, but, like, I think Peter has more chemistry with Punisher than he did MJ and Ned. And they've been in, like, 4 films together at this point.
Yeah.
I know their memories have been wiped and they don't... and they're plot reasons. But it just on-screen chemistry, they had, like... I felt like I wanted more of him and Punisher rather than him and MJ. I think Spider-Man and Punisher should have kissed instead of him and MJ.
For real. There's a moment actually where I thought Spider-Man was going to kiss Jean Grey.
Oh, really? Oh, what, near the end a little bit?
Near the end, but I was like, surely they're not going to do that. The same film he confesses his love to MJ again. You can't... But, I don't know, I feel like it's awkward because part of me is like, should they have just left the MJ and Ned storyline? But also I thought they couldn't have not mentioned it because it's a big bit of grief he's dealing with.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is one of my issues with the film is that it's 2.5 hours. There was a lot going on. I don't know if you felt that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of plot threads, and they do come together quite nicely. But yeah, I think, and genuinely saying this, I think maybe they could have cut MJ and Ned stuff. I know we need a plot drive for Peter Parker, but there was a lot of characters already in there because you've got the Punisher in there. There's the police officer who he's quite friendly with. I like their relationship as well.
Yeah, there's an emotional climax of the film is when MJ's like reads the letter, and she says, "Well,
I don't
this
know
isn't
you.
me. I don't know you. I don't love you," and I think that allows him to move into him.
Really aggressive trains today.
They're really angry with us today.
Nah, what have we done? I'm sorry.
What has Spider-Man done?
Spider-Man's stopping that train. He's on the like in the fucking stage. Ah!
But
Fuck you, ScreenBugs.
Yeah, you'd think he's like us. Yeah, no, there's it allows him to be pushed into. I guess we should talk about the what do we call it? The spider puberty.
Yeah, where he's kind of like his beast mode, where he goes kind of like. Yeah,
that was cool. There's a lot of I'm not going to say this actually. I'm going to fact check this before I say it.
Do you want me to ramble while you're
fact
checking?
You ramble.
Yeah, I mean, there's this whole plot line of his kind of like arachnid DNA taking over and making him more like aggressive, and they kind of lean into his more like mutant abilities, which I thought was interesting, but it came on really oddly because it happens after Jean Grey, before we know who she is, tries to go into his mind. And I feel like that doesn't, because they talk about, this like some trauma that's caused this. It feels a bit like an odd point. Like I thought he was going to have something like injected into him or something's going to happen to him. But how's the fact checking going?
So apparently the idea of like the spider puberty thing, this part of the story apparently was Tom Holland's idea.
Oh, really?
And apparently what he wanted at first
he goes, I really want to be topless and covered in webs for a scene,
well, he wanted it to go like darker and scary than it did. Like he one day wakes when he has like fangs and he's got venomous spikes in his hands and it becomes a real body horror kind of thing.
They do that in a couple Spider-Man things, maybe the comics and a couple shows where he does mutate into a spider and he gains like extra arms and shit like that.
And what he called it was like he wakes up at night sometimes as the man spider, but they thought it was too scary for a Spider-Man film, which makes sense. But
yeah, I mean, I would have liked that. That would have been really cool, but yeah, you've got to kind of stick to the... Sadly, they wanted to stick to the mold, I think, a little bit with this and not really... They didn't really experiment with stuff. But it was still, still an enjoyable watch. What did you think of the Hulk's inclusion in this?
It was good. From the marketing, I thought the Hulk was going to be a really big part of the film. But
yeah, he's on all the billboards and like sides of buses and that. It's like
Spider-Man.
I guess
if you've got the Hulk, you're going to put the Hulk in the marketing, aren't you? But,
yeah.
I think it was good though. I think it was good they didn't overuse Hulk and allowed it to be a Spider-Man film when there's already a lot going on.
Yeah, They let other characters have their moments, but it is a lot of focus on Spider-Man. It's the same with Punisher. He appears every now and again, but it's still really focused on Spider-Man. And I like the kind of stuff, and I like seeing a kind of different, a more depressed Spider-Man as well. Like there's a really nice sequence which I really liked when he's swinging about after the party and he sees MJ's got like this boyfriend, and he's like tears in his eyes and flashbacks to all the other movies. I really like that sequence. I thought it was a nice emotional beat. For Spider-Man,
I think with I love seeing the darkest Spider-Man. I was going to say about the Hulk. I did find it where was that thought going?
You did find it.
I did find it.
Well done. I appreciate it.
I thought, I don't know, with the Hulk, when they finally is fighting the Hulk himself, something about the way that's dealt with felt kind of, I wasn't sure about it. Like, I don't know much about the Hulk. I've not seen all the Hulk material. It's over quite quickly, I think. It's over quite quickly, and he just sort of like, you know, tries to speak to the Hulk's goodwill. And I know there's meant to be different, like Bruce Banner's still in there somewhere, but I don't know, something about that kind of seemed a bit...
Well, yeah, because it went differently to how I thought it was going to go, because obviously Jean Grey takes over Bruce Banner at some point in the film, and we have this kind of like Bruce Banner mixed with Hulk, and then Spider-Man fights this Hulk, and then he kind of snaps and he goes full Hulk.
Yeah.
And what I thought was going to happen is, because at the end of the fight, Spider-Man kind of kicks Hulk's ass a little bit, which was cool. It was a good fight. I really liked that.
It was a good fight. Yeah.
Spider-Man tries to talk to the Hulk, and what I thought was going to happen is that obviously in the previous film, he erases everyone's mind of Spider-Man. I thought they were going to reveal that the Hulk remembers who he is, but Bruce Banner doesn't. And that's what I thought, because I think they do that in the comics at some point. Again,
that's kind of what I thought might have happened.
They didn't do that. Hulk, he goes, Bruce, you're not like this, and Hulk kind of goes, and then fucking tries to like jump. He like just falls off a building.
Yeah, that was a bit odd. Then what isn't it the thing where like Bruce Banner ended up in like some psych ward?
Yeah, they just announced like on the news like, oh yeah, after this they've sent Bruce Banner to a psych ward.
Like, that was interesting.
This is what Mark Ruffalo gets for supporting Palestine. They're like, lock him in the fucking padded
People have
room.
been saying he wasn't in any of the actual interviews, was he?
Was he not? I've not seen it.
I don't think he was in any of the interviews for the film, and people are like...
That's really depressing, actually, if that's true.
Yeah. But also, like, they've got to come back and talk, because if they've done that just so they can be like, okay, no more... You know, no more anti-genocidal messaging in our marketing.
No,
Mark
we need
Ruffalo.
to be pro-US military film. We need to, you know...
Which is also funny when you consider who the real bad guys of this film is.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. They introduced Damage Control, don't they? As this kind of corporation who... Oh, we take Spider-Man's villains and make them... We see the good in them. We try and reform them, which was... And as soon as they were doing that, I was like, uh-oh, these guys are...
Yeah, I thought it was going to be an interesting thing if the whole movie he's on the side of the corporation, side of the police, and then there's this evil mutant girl. But that seems odd.
I like that they diverted my expectations a little bit.
Yeah.
And which is good, because obviously you've got Punisher, who's very much against... Well, he's not against the police, but he's very much... They don't like him.
He feels a slightly more anti-hero, doesn't he?
He is definitely an anti-hero. Yeah. I do like his inclusion, I will say. I fucking love... obviously, I know we're skipping around a bit, but obviously when Spider-Man is fighting the Hulk, Punisher does show up.
Yeah.
And, like, that's not a matchup. Like, Punisher versus Hulk is so funny because... Punisher arrives, shoots Hulk with a couple of bullets. Spider-Man goes, I don't think you can deal with this, man.
It's above your pay grade.
And Punisher goes, maybe. And Hulk throws like fucking like a massive bit of concrete at him. And Punisher just goes, oh shit! And then just fucks off for the rest of the fight. Like, he does not want to fight the Hulk anymore.
Just speaking of Punisher's language, like, I find it interesting how much he swore in a 12A film.
He is the majority of the vulgar language, because like Spider-Man just says anything, he goes, oh bullshit, you're full of shit. Like, every line is like just
I'm glad they didn't try to take a character and family friendly him completely though, because that would have probably just made it a bit awkward.
They've only done that with Punisher once, where there was like this like young kids animated show called Superhero Squad, and it's like a very like younger kids show, and they have Punisher in it, and he's like, he starts comparing like criminals to like yucky vegetables and stuff, and they managed to make it work in this one instance, and that always makes me like smile visibly, because obviously all the other superheroes like, what the fuck's going on, because it's like, oh, criminals are yucky vegetables, so we can't eat and we don't like them, and they need to be like taken off the plate permanently.
Taken off the plate.
But they get the guy who was playing Punisher at the time to come and voice the
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that is sick.
Which I'm very amused by.
I want to see that now. I don't want to see more Punisher stuff after this film. I don't want to see more Punisher.
Yeah, I haven't watched the series, but after watching this, I probably would go back. I quite like John Bernthal as Punisher, but maybe he's not the same as he is in the film, in the show. Maybe it's a bit darker.
Curious to see.
That's what I mean, because I like his relationship with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It must be interesting for the actors, because obviously they've just been in the Odyssey together as well. So I'm thinking maybe...
Yeah, there's quite a bit of overlap there, isn't it?
So I'm trying to think maybe if they had that, maybe that's what made the chemistry so good, is that they've just done like 2 films back to back, maybe, and they're kind of like, oh, it's this guy, I like him.
Yeah, definitely. I think I would like to see, if there's another trilogy, I would like there to be more Spider-Man Punisher.
Yeah.
Especially if there ends up being less MJ and Ned. Maybe,
I feel like
maybe Jean Grey and Punisher is his new team, his new friends.
They were interesting. I feel like, because obviously you've got Jean Grey, who is X-Men. This is our first like X-Men casting who isn't, because obviously they're coming back in Doomsday. X-Men casting who's like new.
Wait, are they coming back in Doomsday?
I just dropped my mic. Yeah, have you not seen the trailers? The X-Men are in it.
Oh, the X-Men are, yeah. Oh, yeah. So but I've not seen the Spider-Man's not in any of the trailers, and Jean Grey is in. And but I guess they wouldn't show.
No, I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna be. I don't want them to be. I'm not bothered about these big crossover events. Like, I'm not fussed.
Are you not that fussed about it? Okay, I feel like I'm just gonna say it now because we're talking about Doomsday, but I know it's jumping forward. But
go on.
Near the end of the film, when obviously Punisher accidentally shoots Peter.
Yeah.
I thought they
were going to kill him off.
I did too. I thought it's come back for a film that's a bit darker. Do I really think Tom Holland's going to do 6 Spider-Man films? Like, I don't know. Like, I thought what was going to happen is, because he's not in any of the trailers for Doomsday, but they're saying, he'll be in Secret Wars.
Genuinely, I thought
I
the
was
same
like,
thing.
They're going to fucking kill him, and it's going to be beautiful. We're all going to cry, and everyone's going to think in 10 years, like, oh, the Spider-Man definitely MCU. That was legendary.
Yeah.
Like, I thought they were going to Logan it. I thought he was going to fucking die. And I would have respected it as well.
Yeah, because there's a real big fake out where he gets really close to Jean Grey at the end, near the end of the film, and he's like trying to convince her to kind of release, because her powers go fucking nuts.
Because then that would have made Spider-Man like the sort of mentor figure for Jean Grey's launch into the MCU.
Yeah, and that would have been a hell of a lot of an arc for Punisher as well. Because there's been...
Maybe they should have killed him.
I think yeah, because I mean, he like saves Jean from getting shot by this Matt, because Punisher sets up like, what a shot as well from the Punisher, like miles away, and he shoots Spider-Man right, and he like collapses, he's turning pale, he's like on the floor. I actually thought, they don't have the balls, surely. That's what I was thinking. I was like, no fucking way.
I don't think it's not that they don't have the balls, it's like they really love that Spider-Man paycheck. But the thing is, like, here's another thing, right? If they had done this, because Tom Holland almost didn't come back, because he thought,
oh really?
He's done 3. He thought he's only going to do because he turned down a couple scripts. Yeah. It's like, I'm only going to do it if it's worth doing, if it's a really good script. That's why he was so involved, right?
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I thought, because I knew that, I was like, maybe saying, right, I'll do one more if it's a really good send-off.
He's doing
and then I thought they were going to bring Miles Morales as the new Spider-Man for the MCU. That's what I was expecting. It's like, this all perfectly lines up.
Yeah, I thought he was like a Harrison Ford in Star Wars. He was like, bring me back, but kill me in that film.
That's what I'm thinking. And you know what, maybe I'm thinking now for the first time, maybe they should have done it.
Superhero films should have been more braver. And I think actually, genuinely, killing Spider-Man off as absolute monumental shock that would have been, I think would have worked. For the film, I actually think would have worked, because that part, like last 10 minutes of the film, is Spider-Man's in hospital. Is he going to make it? Everyone in New York loves Spider-Man, and then there's a nice moment where, really nice moment actually, where Punisher is in the hospital room with him and starts crying because he's shot Spider-Man. That's a fantastic moment.
It is a really good moment. It is.
And then he's like, I know how to sneak you out. Yeah. And Peter Parker walks out of the hospital and they go, it's Spider-Man, and they look up in the window and it's just Punisher
when he's just waving
in the Spider-Man mask and gloves in the rest of his Punisher suit, just going like, they do a shot where they show him like from quite far away and he's just going and that bit, I was the only one in cinemas to laugh.
I laughed at that as well.
My cinema experience, I don't know if they were miserable. All the bits I found really funny, no one else laughed at. So there was a lot of bits with the Punisher where he said something, and I was actually going, and like no one else laughed.
I'm such a sucker for laughing in the cinema, dude. I love it.
Like proper obnoxiously. Like, yeah.
That's good.
Did you funny?
Start clapping.
Start standing up,
But no, I feel like, but also at the same time, because it lined up so perfectly, because I was working out as the hospital thing began, I was working out all those links, like why it would work so well.
Yeah.
And then because it didn't happen, it's like there's like a big chunk of the end of this film where I'm like, it feels a little bit cheap.
They almost dragged out a bit of the film, because it is a 2.5 hour film.
Yeah.
I feel like it could have gotten away with being 2 hours.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of sequences that maybe they could have cut or could have been shorter, and I appreciate a lot of them, but there's a couple, but like there's a couple sequences where he's mutated and he starts getting natural webs, and there's a lot of sequences where they really show him struggling to swing about.
Yeah.
I think they could have just done that once and given me the idea, like, yeah, okay, I get it.
But I almost feel like they could have shortened the end section and filled in more the slow realization and change of villain, because by the time he's worked out who the real enemies are, it's very quick to suddenly, I'm on your side, then he's fighting all these people.
Yeah, it's very much like first like hour and a half is finding about Jean Grey, then you have that like almost Act 3 with Jean Grey, and then you have actual Act 3 where he's got to go rescue Jean Grey. It's like, okay, maybe either set it up sooner or cut the fat a bit.
The proportions could have been shifted around.
I definitely think so, yeah. It's not to say I didn't enjoy it. There's a lot of sequences I really liked. Like I do like
great oh my gosh.
There's some fantastic fights.
What were they called?
The Hand.
The Hand.
And you think, they are the prison.
Wow.
The kind of contained cell fight with them.
Yeah,
amazing. They are awesome. Yeah,
amazing. Oh my god.
Because we see them a little bit early on, and I wasn't expecting. I was expecting them to play a very minor role, but they kind of play like the barrier. They're the barrier before he gets to Jean Grey.
A really cool element.
A fantastic fight scene. They are so in sync. They're really cool. They move as like one person because they're all being mind controlled. They've got like linked arms. They're like throwing each other and like bouncing off each other to hit Spider-Man, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, and then there's a moment where she says, these are things they've got in case you come out of line, Spider-Man. Like you shouldn't trust these people any more than they trust you.
Yeah,
I like that.
There's the kind of damage control being the villains per se is an interesting.
Are they comic villains?
I have no clue.
Yeah,
I reckon the only people I recognise as comic villains were the guys from the start.
Yeah,
like, you've got Scorpion, Boomerang, Tarantula. Not Tarantula. I think it's Tarantula actually.
Is it like the Rhino?
I don't think Rhino's in this. That was a different guy. The guy slammed his head into a wall. That was someone else.
Is that someone else?
Yeah, I have no clue who that is, but that was someone else.
I wonder what his name is. I'm not going to Google that.
Darren Headbutt. That's his.
Darren Headbutt.
It's like one frame of Spider-Man slamming this guy's head into a wall.
I did like it.
It was good.
Really, they had him like it was. I loved his like witty street level fight. Shit talking. Like I loved all that when he's like doing little stretches and stuff.
Yeah, he's very sassy in this film. I like how
I think he's matured into that really well in this film.
He's a lot more like a sarky prick, which I really, especially with the Punisher, with Frank. The way they speak to each other is so funny because there's like almost content. Like they talk to each other like the other's stupid, and that's fantastic.
With Spider-Man growing up a bit and having a bit more trauma, and it's sort of leveling out his sort of perky teenage kid personality. That's the one thing that just makes me glad they didn't kill him off, because I feel like I would like to see a couple more films of this Spider-Man.
This is definitely him at his. Oh my god. Got my microphone again. I had to maybe I should get like a little headset or something.
I've got clips for just not using them.
We just don't find it funnier. I think this is the best version of Spider-Man in this with Tom Holland. He's not my favourite Spider-Man.
This has been my favourite Tom Holland Spider-Man performance.
Yeah, I think it's the strongest. Between this and Homecoming, I think they are his strongest.
Yeah.
And he shines here. I think you can tell he's really enjoyed playing the character.
For sure.
And been given the opportunity to have his say in it as well, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I think he was very creatively involved with this film.
You can tell, I think, a little bit.
From what I heard as well, he was literally like, before they were developing it, the script, he was like online on forums and seeing what the complaints were for the previous films, what people want. Yeah. And there's a lot of people after the last one saying, multiverse, we just want like a street level Spider-Man,
and they delivered.
And so that's what he did. I believe it was Tom Holland pushing for that. I believe there were different ideas, and he said, "I think we should go street level."
Yeah. I mean, they did that a lot better. There was, I think it's almost balanced, because I did feel like we got a lot of that, but also like there felt like a lot going on in this as well. I maybe would have liked a little couple simpler elements.
Yeah,
but this one did feel really comic booky. Yeah. As well, which is good. But I just felt, for me, at some points, there just felt like there was too much at play at once.
Yeah,
I think I said this earlier as well, so I'm probably just repeating myself.
I felt they could have done I felt they could have maybe done less of the MJ Ned stuff.
That was the weakest parts for me. Even though they were some of the most emotional parts, they were the weakest parts.
I think
for me.
It was just a proportions thing. I think they had all the great elements, but they maybe just was a bit too much in place where it didn't need to be, and a bit too little.
Yeah,
in
I like
places.
the focus on his new relationships rather than his older ones.
That's it. Yeah, we want to see the Spider-Man. No, it's not going to be a 6-episode back and forth love story of MJ. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Give us the dark. If you're going to commit to dark Spider-Man, you can't turn around in one movie.
Yeah, I like the kind of end. They end with obviously re-establishing their relationship, and he's friends with Ned again, and he's friends with MJ again.
Yeah,
but I don't need to see any more of that if they were going to do another film. I think
I'm good for that to phase. Like, if the next film there's like maybe a montage of him visiting and going for coffee with them, but then he's like,
maybe one scene where they just have a chat, maybe at the start, and then the rest of the film is him just doing other stuff. Because there's more interesting stuff that can be done with him at this point. This is the fourth.
I think they need to push him to his, because I'm assuming they're going to push more of this further version of Spider-Man. I think they should really like take him to some dark places. Like,
I'd like for him to appear in maybe some of the other shows now. Maybe let Spider-Man. I know he's done this quite a bit, but let him have the same kind of role that the Punisher did in this film.
Yeah.
Where he appears as a kind of secondary character for someone else's story.
And again, I feel like because it felt like he was almost by the end becoming a mentor for Jean Grey, I think there's more that could be done with that as well.
You think go with the X-Men route?
Because the whole thing with Spider-Man is Iron Man was his mentor figure.
Yeah.
And now let Spider-Man do the same. But I wonder if they'll do that with like a Miles Morales character.
Maybe. I'd like. He has fun dynamics with a lot of people. I'd like to see him with Daredevil.
I've never seen any Daredevil stuff
I've
either.
not, but
yeah.
I've seen his relationship with Punisher was really fun.
It would make sense for him to be in the Daredevil series.
Yeah,
already got a
which is what I mean. There's a lot of, considering Punisher's out and about doing stuff
Yeah.
with Spider-Man, it would make sense
Yeah.
for Daredevil to be doing the same thing because they're all kind of in New York, kind of at the same time doing the same thing. Really,
I am quite curious about the Spider-Man absence in the Doomsday stuff. I know, like, I am just curious about that as a thing because I believe the original plans before they changed the plans for the Avengers film. So the guy who was playing Kang had some like controversies.
Some.
Yes, many. I think I believe this is what I heard. I think Spider-Man was going to be a bit of like the face of that film, but in this one he's not really in any of the marketing. I'm curious why.
I think probably because of the rights. I don't know what the opinions are on Fox stuff. I don't know if how that merge is still working because obviously Marvel and Disney now have the hold of X-Men, which is why we're seeing them, and it's why I'm guessing we're seeing Jean Grey as well, but I don't know if they still have what they have over Spider-Man at this point. I might be wrong. I'm not up to date with this. I don't...
Because there must be a pretty penny in it for Sony when Spider-Man's in the Avengers.
That's what I mean. So it's hard to negotiate the rights, I suppose, if they still have them. I don't know. I don't keep up with Marvel anymore. The last Marvel film I saw was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Yeah. I've not interacted with any other Marvel film since then. I don't know about you. So, so I wonder what it was like, because like, obviously there's a couple characters like Black Widow appears as well.
We spoke about that.
We've not even spoke about Florence Pugh at all.
Florence Pugh in this film.
She was really good, but again, I've not seen anything else with her in the Marvel universe, so I was like a bit like, I know who she is.
Yeah.
I'm aware what she does, but I was like, okay, I don't think she needed to be in it.
Yeah,
but the scenes were really fun, actually. I did like her performance.
She was like the lead of the Thunderbolts for the new Avengers. And the Thunderbolts film, I think, was one of the best Marvel films in years. It was a very good film.
I would like to watch that one. I'm not seeing it.
Fantastic Four was quite good as well. Well, I should have said fantastic, but no, Florence Pugh. Part of me was like, why are you here? But also, every scene she's in, I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah, she's in like 2 scenes?
Yeah, and I loved them.
She's got probably 6 minutes of screen time.
I love the thing of him coming into the pool with his mask
when she's like, take your clothes off in the swimming pool,
so
and he's got the
funny.
mask, and he's just got his little towel and shorts on.
Oh god, it was so funny.
That's what I mean. Their interactions were really. I don't feel like she needed to be there, and it's same to be goes with the Hulk. I think neither of them needed to be there, but them being there didn't negatively affect the film.
It was enjoyable.
I think. Yeah, they made it work. I think it felt like a nice acknowledgement that other characters exist.
Yeah, Florence Pugh's an addition to anything she's in because she's just brilliant
she is
in
great.
every role.
I did like her.
I like her character.
I've not seen Thunderbolts. I've not seen Black Widow, so I've not seen her as this character.
I do recommend.
I've only seen her in Midsummer and she was really funny in Spider-Man. Whereas I've only seen her in quite serious roles.
In Thunderbolts is such a good. I think you'd like it.
I'll have to give it a watch. I think,
and I think they're going to be in the new Avengers.
They are. I saw the trailer that played beforehand. I was like, these guys.
So, but I really like that. I'm feeling hopeful for the next. I assume there's going to be another.
Yeah.
I reckon so.
Yeah, I mean, after seeing this and after enjoying it, because after No Way Home, I didn't particularly enjoy No Way Home.
Yeah.
So I wasn't exactly thrilled to go see this.
I was thrilled when I heard that Tom Holland made a push for it to be street level rather than an Avengers level threat. That's what I got me excited.
I wouldn't have seen this film in cinemas if it weren't for this, for what we're doing now. But I'm glad I went to see it, and I would go see the next one, I think, because I enjoyed this one, because it was all the problems with... Yeah, I know. Jeez.
We heard you the first 2 times, love.
All my problems that I had with No Way Home, they completely erased by this film.
Yeah.
And they make like one acknowledgement to No Way Home when he gets his natural webs for the first time. He's like, "Oh, Peter 2 had this." Oh, no, he did
and that was just a funny little one-liner.
That was a nice little acknowledgement. Yeah, they didn't need to go into it that much. It's like,
I like they had the Aunt May grieving stuff, but they didn't do well on it. It was just a good element.
And they still had to be an important part in it because they have it in his mind. And
the scene where she's sort of in his mind, and then she speaks to
Aunt May speaks to Jean Grey.
That was a really beautiful scene. That was really well done.
Yeah, props to what was the actress who played Jean Grey?
Sadie Sink.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I really liked her. Now that she's established in the MCU, that makes me hopeful for the next. Because my guess is for Doomsday that they're going to kill off all the X-Men and just get a new cast of X-Men in with new actors because they're reusing all the old ones.
I would have thought they would have just started with a new X-Men group to make it less. Cause I'm not seeing any X-Men stuff.
All these big crossover things like look at this guy, look at this guy, look at this guy. So this nostalgia a little bit. So with this casting and how good it was, that gives me hope for who the other X-Men are going to be cast as, because I think they did a really good job.
Yeah, I'm excited. I do think, and again, I guess it's an Avengers thing, but I do wish they would focus on less characters and give them more films.
I think the big crossover stuff worked for Infinity Wars and Endgame.
Yeah.
Now that it's been done, I don't think we need that anymore.
Yeah, and if you're going to do something like a film where you just pick a few characters and have them intentionally for a good reason come together.
That's what like Thunderbolts did, kind of?
Yeah, where
they just get a couple mismatching, like a team.
But why not just do... instead of because they did a Spiderman Doctor Strange film and that was great. Yeah. Why not, instead of having all the characters, do what happens if Shang-Chi and Black Panther and Spider-Man go up against this villain and make that be a film?
Yeah, don't do do smaller level crossovers.
I think that'd be so much more exciting because you get to see them interact.
I would say I would love to see Shang-Chi and Spider-Man because I really enjoyed Shang-Chi. I'd like to see those two characters interact.
I believe same director, this film and Shang-Chi.
Yes, we did look at that.
So
I reckon he could have, if it weren't, maybe get Shang-Chi in, like how Punisher was in this. Yeah. Do it with Shang-Chi next time.
It's just ridiculous that they're not giving Shang-Chi a second film yet. It's been years.
I really enjoyed that one. I know. He's not been in anything else. He's going to be in Doomsday.
Yeah, but he's not at this point, it's been so many years. It's like you've made all these shows, all these films with new characters. Why not have a few less characters to be balancing and then randomly... what happened to the Eternals? Where did the Eternals go, Kevin Feige? How about give Shang-Chi
Keep going.
We're in public. How about give Shang-Chi a second film? Give Shang-Chi a second film. You didn't do anything with the Eternals. You gave us Harry Styles.
There's a dog walker giving us a
right in front of us. You gave us Harry Styles, did nothing with it. Give Shang-Chi a second film, you bastard. They just cancelled Wonder Man. Did you see Wonder Man?
No.
Because they didn't fucking promote it. It was a brilliant series, and they cancelled it.
They cancelled it?
And they're going to make a new series probably. What happened to Moon Knight? Marvel, fucking hell. Less characters and fucking do something with them. The reason why no one wants to commit to these characters and we're all just asking for a new Spider-Man, the reason why you have to bring back Robert Downey Jr. and Captain America is because people can't fall in love with these characters the same way because you're not giving them more than one film.
I hope Moon Knight and She-Hulk appear in Doomsday. I really like both of them.
They're not gonna though. They just thrown them out.
I've never seen you so angry.
It's just Disney being so stingy. They won't commit to a character unless it's a first-time hit. That's why Pedro Pascal's the new face of the Avengers after one film. No offense to Pedro Pascal, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm raging.
Breathe. Do a breathing exercise. Breathe in.
Hey, this is a clip for the socials.
Fake outrage right here.
No, I'm actually fuming. Just like, please give Shang-Chi a second film. That's the heart and soul of this argument.
Please bring a couple characters back.
Oh my God, we didn't need Andrew Garfield to come back.
This is the big problem, is there's so many characters they've got to deal with now, is they're just neglecting a lot of them.
They're just trying to do the Infinity War thing again, but just small scale.
I think they got lightning with a bottle with that, and they're
and also
trying to
what did they
recapture
do?
that.
They back to back were doing Iron Man, Captain America, Iron Man 2, Captain America 2. Like, they were building up in a way where you could actually fall in love with these characters.
Now they're just
no
like,
one's gonna give a shit.
Here's one film.
Here's a film. Now in 5 years they're coming back. Oh,
yeah. Here's one film. Now Falcon. Fucking Why are they bringing Captain America back? We've got Captain America. We've got
and
fucking.
that is disrespectful to bring Chris Evans back.
Yeah.
They're saying, no, we don't believe in this new guy. That's what they're saying by bringing him back.
I love Anthony Mackie. He's one of my favourites.
Give him a chance, man.
He's so good as well.
Because if they gave him another film, they really committed to him. The first one I don't think did that well, but give him another chance.
I mean, Falcon and Winter Soldier, the series was good. I enjoyed that.
Did well.
So I think do something else like that. He's a really good character.
Because if they'd committed to it, they'd have a new face of the Avengers.
Yeah, but they're not
people
committed
care
to it
about.
because you get this very vocal minority of nerds online.
Yeah.
They get so much backlash on it because they're so loud and they're so vocal about it that they just assume, oh shit, we need to backpedal now.
That's it. Like, who is the face of the Avengers?
They just want to jangle keys.
That's it. Like, who is going into this new film? Who it feels like a natural face of the Avengers? There isn't one.
Yeah.
Because none of these people have had more than one film. Other than Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. is Doctor Doom.
Oh, it's not looking good. We haven't talked about Spider-Man in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, Spider-Man should have been the face.
Spider-Man should have. No, he really should have.
The one character they're actually giving effort to.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
we've hit the end of the film.
Yes.
I think, Justin, it's about that time of the episode where we give the film legs. For those who have not watched before, this is our rating. Simple 1 to 100. 1 is we didn't like it. 100 is we did like it. And it's legs because we're bugs. I'm a bit scared to ask you if you want to go first. You've been ranting. Are you okay?
I'll go first.
Do you want to take a breath? Yeah, go for it.
I'll go first. You know, this is my favourite Tom Holland Spider-Man performance. I loved the cast. Again, him with Punisher was fantastic. I think Sadie Sinker's Jean Grey was really fun for me.
Yeah,
I had a great time in the cinema. The swinging scenes were great. There was some incredible, like top tier Spider-Man combat scenes, like action scenes. It was a bit disjointed in places. I think they put too much attention to some things like MJ and Ned, and not enough in other places. Like maybe making the switch of villain a bit smoother rather than being a bit jagged, it felt for me. And also I feel like they may have missed the trick not killing off Spider-Man. It was almost too perfect, because otherwise I wouldn't have been efficient. How did he kill off Spider-Man at all? But because it lined up so well to set up these new characters and give them a send-off, like, I don't know, maybe they missed a trick there. But at the same time, I did enjoy it enough to think if there's another one, I'm going to be quite excited and I will come back for the rest of the trilogy. But there are these issues. It's by no means a perfect perfect superhero film.
Superman film.
And it's not even my favourite recent Marvel film. I'd probably take Thunderbolts over this. But there's so much stuff to love there. And I had a great time in the cinema, which is what you want from a comic book film. I'm not going there to have my life changed. So I'm thinking I'm going to give this a nice 78.
Yeah?
That's what I'm going to go for.
I feel very similarly to that. I think I enjoyed the experience of being in the... Well, I say I enjoyed the experience. I went alone in the cinemas and I didn't like... That's the first time I've ever done that, and I wasn't a big fan. But I enjoyed the film. I really liked a lot of the dynamics. The characters, I think, are the standouts. All the character dynamics and relationships are where this film really shined, as well as the action scenes, I think, were really good. They felt really Spider-Man. They felt like, this guy's like, I like this guy. He's jumping around. He's not staying still for even a second to fight people. It felt really punchy and really, really interesting. I think the film was a bit too long for me. Maybe I think 2.5 hours is a bit of a stretch, I think, but I'm just a sucker for shorter films as well. I think you get, you get too comfortable with a long film. I think sometimes you need to be put in a position where, shit, we've got an hour and a half. How do we make the most of it?
That makes sense.
I think this film was still good. Not my favourite Spider-Man film, not my favourite Superman film. Fuck. I've done it as well. Not my favourite Spider-Man film. Or my favourite superhero film, but still a good film, and I will be there for the next one. I think, I really like the Punisher. He was my standout in this film. That was my favourite. That was my highlight. He was making
really
him comic relief was the best decision I think they could have made in this film. And him and Spider-Man's relationship, I was there for 100%. I would have liked more of that. Less of MJ, more of Punisher. I think let him be gay with Punisher, maybe. Maybe let them kiss.
Look, Zendaya's great, but once you've had such a send-off like you had, and once you made that decision in the coffee shop when you didn't give her the letter, you've made your decision.
They're backpedaling a bit,
That's it.
sadly. But still good. I think I'm going to give this a comfortable 71.
70. That sounds
I think
good.
so. We're kind of in the
We're in the
same
70s. Yeah.
Anything else to add, Justin?
Buzz off.
Yeah, I reckon.